Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Starting with sunshine, but you'll notice clouds on the increase as we work our way through our Wednesday. Still a chilly day of weather with highs in the upper 40s and low 50s. And while clouds will be on the increase, will still mainly stay dry, although a sprinkle or a stray shower, even a flurry, can't be totally ruled out this evening and tonight. Those clouds will start to break apart. A partly cloudy sky overnight as temperatures drop back down to around freezing. Sunshine is back and another chilly day on the way for our Thursday. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Thought-provoking conversations and informed perspectives.
It's meant for everyday people to understand, and you don't have to stress about technical terms and stuff. They just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you?
The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty is recorded live with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, here's your host, Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Well, welcome everybody to The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty. First edition of 2024.
Yes.
Glad to be here. We've been gone the last, I think, 2 weeks. I think we've been gone.
It's been a long time.
Glad to be back. If you was watching the live feed, you see Joe look like he's about ready to jump off, and we messed with him because he thinks we're going to come in early when we're listening to music. But I'm learning. I'm learning to wait. It's like
I don't know if you're messing with me or if I need to genuinely be concerned.
you probably half and half. You probably should be concerned sometimes. But if you join us, listen. Hey, we appreciate it. Tune in 100.7 FM, 105.9. If that does not work. Obviously on Facebook, we're there. You can stream us. I know we have a podcast that airs now, and I don't know all the details on that, but we're glad to be back. I'm glad to see everybody. I'm joined by Matt Burleson today. Bill's a little under the weather, and Jason with Farm Bureau, and we have one of our, I don't guess I should call you newer deputies, really, should I?
That's up to you.
Jonah Wood, who is here and been with us, and I've got his stuff here, and he does not, well, he probably has figured out why he's here, but we'll do that to start with. Yep. He's been a deputy. He's 26 years old. He's come from, worked for Iredell Statesville School. You went to BLET. You was a sponsor that we recruited or done a sponsorship to help you with your little tuition as you went through rookie school, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you remember me saying always if we do the sponsorship, we get the first right of refusal.
That's right.
So he came here, and now you've been here for how long?
A year and some change now. So,
Really?
Yep.
And you've accomplished a lot. So with that, and before we even go any further, Jason, obviously it seems like every couple weeks we're in here, Farm Bureau is good enough to honor one of our officers. And y'all, I say it all the time, y'all really stood behind us and public service in general, but Farm Bureau really does a good job. So I'm gonna let you turn it off for the president, or turn it over to you.
Perfect.
To sort of what y'all want to do. And
Yeah,
remember, you got insurance sales going on for New Year, right?
We do. It never stops. So
Talk about those sales, right?
yeah,
Reduction price.
Yep. But happy to be here. Always love coming in. I love giving back, of course, and always excited to give back to the Deputy of the Month. He's going to go over kind of what all was going on with that. I'm assuming as far as
I was just testing to see if you was paying attention. Yes. Well, no. It's sort of like what I said. He's here because Jonah. There's a lot of things that people do to get this award, and it can really be for anything. But one of the things, this is very unique this time. I think Matt will tell you. This is basically for you having an example of leadership that you set forth in a little over a year being here. Your impact on daily operation of your squad. I mean, this was recommended. You're recommended by your peers, not by us. So going into that, and Jason as well, to have a new officer, just like I say, a year and some change, he says that he has got to hear. And also, he won our Bill Wood Award. At our
last
appreciation lunch, and that's a lot. That's only been given out, and you really have to go above and beyond to just be a good just a good
Just a
person,
good all-around
good
officer.
officer. Yeah, and there's really, you hate to say it, but there's never a bad day in his career. So or so far. Now you only got 29 more years, so I mean, you got plenty of time to mess it up. So,
Long road ahead.
but with that being said, that sort of sets it up, Jason.
Perfect, awesome. I would love to come in and do this. Of course, appreciate y'all everything you guys do for it. Love coming in and doing this and giving back to you guys and recognize for all the hard work y'all do and the service that you do. But Officer of the Month or Deputy of the Month, we got it. Jonah Wood.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
There
that.
you go.
All right.
Everybody can see it. Well deserved. Well deserved.
yep.
See it on social media there. Jonah, well
Thank you.
deserved.
Appreciate that.
Now you get to give a speech.
Yes.
Speech.
Acceptance speech. Well, I mean, that was one of the things when he got out of the car. I did say, welcome, Jonah Wood, 2-time award winner.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. Obviously, thank you is a big thing. I've got a lot of people. I've got a lot of good teachers. I had a lot of good teachers in BLET. Had a lot of good mentors on the road as well. My lieutenant has been instrumental in getting me to go to classes and have really good sergeants as well. Can't leave them out. They've been a driving force for me to be a leadership and to be that type of leader that, I can be like them eventually down the road.
You could name those guys. They probably are gals. They'd probably love to be heard on the radio.
My lieutenant's Scott Teague.
Okay, yep.
Also, sergeants Will Goforth and Kevin Hall.
Yep.
You'll probably want one of their jobs one day, aren't you?
Oh, later down the road, definitely.
And you have
No
a
rush.
family background in law enforcement as well.
Yeah, I
Yes.
seen that. That's what I was going to ask you. Tell us a little bit about your grandpa.
So it was actually my dad.
Your dad. I'm sorry.
My dad was a sheriff's deputy in Washington State, a town called Okanagan, Washington. And Okanagan, Washington's in the middle of nowhere, and it's about 5,000 square miles of area to patrol.
Wow.
You know what's in Washington, don't you?
Rain, mountains,
Bigfoot,
caribou.
snow.
Bigfoot. Who said Bigfoot? Bigfoot. That's what Bill said. Bigfoot. Did you say Joe said Bigfoot?
Yeah.
That's what I
That
hear.
was obvious.
I was thinking caribou
Well, you
and
know,
elk.
we've got it, and I cannot remember it. I know his name was Joel Fish. He was an investigator here back years ago, and he is now a sheriff.
Okay.
And, they don't have no easy-to-say names in Washington State.
No, there's not.
So I cannot remember the county, but he was here. And, I got a letter from him not long ago on a recommendation, and now sheriff in Washington State.
Very nice.
So your dad was a deputy sheriff.
Yes, sir.
How
Yes,
many
sir.
years?
I believe it was 10.
Really?
10 years. Started out in corrections, and then he went to patrol. But the agency's so small there, they pretty much rotated out. They did like 6-month rotations.
Well, and
Very good.
you got it, and now you're here, and you got, like I said, we've already said about 28 and some years change.
Right. And there's a lot of training in store for you as well. I know you talked about getting into the field training, FTO, I think it was some other leadership classes, kind of the career advancement the sheriff had talked about, for pathing for the young officers to be able to achieve that rank.
Yeah. And I was able to achieve that last year. I believe in the middle of the last year, I was able to go to FTO training
Right.
That's good.
and get that and graduate from that school as well.
So for a citizen here listening, what's it like to be a deputy here? Coming at just a year service. So is it what you thought when you went through rookie school? Would you recommend it again?
I definitely would recommend it again. I mean, I think we're one of the, if not top, law enforcement agencies in the country,
Thank
and definitely in the state. Your leadership, I mean, is unmatched, really.
Hey, it's not me. Hey, I just get to put my name. Y'all are the guys, and I do appreciate it. But y'all are the guys that I've often said our best recruiters are employees, and y'all do a heck of a good job at that.
Talking to a lot of the other agencies around, we're definitely one of the highest paying, for sure, especially as long as sheriff's offices go. Definitely would recommend anybody to come through. So.
Well, there's a good article in Iredell Free News, and Joe, I don't want to throw other media things, but I think y'all play good, is the fact that we recently had a deputy candidate program. If you hadn't read it, read the article, and I know Mike had said about 30, but really we started out 2 positions and had 52 applicants.
Right.
That wants to come. So that says a lot. And
amazing.
Jason, I can't say enough about Farm Bureau, and we're fixing to take a break, and I would love for y'all to hang around and just we'll hang around, and Jonah, you hang around for a little bit, and we'll gouge back and forth. We're going to go over some of the things, since it's now 2024, some of the things that we accomplished as an office in 2023 to help our citizens here, and some of the monies we got through appropriations, which helps us. And we really don't get to put them all into one show and say a lot of that we've got accomplished. So, Matt, I think we'll be back in about 30 seconds. Anything you want to say for 30 seconds before we cut off?
Stay tuned. Call your friends, family. Tell them all to find us on Facebook or listen live.
Sheriffs?
Sheriffs?
Share.
Share.
You know, we had to come in and arrest Galena.
Oh, share. See, yeah, let the other sheriffs call and listen to us, too.
All right, we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty with Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Happy New Year, WSIC family. Here's your WSIC community calendar. Celebrate Kane Center for the Arts' first anniversary gala, along with Broadway star Mandy Gonzalez. Dinner and a show this Saturday at Kane Center for the Arts. You may remember Mandy Gonzalez from her roles in Hamilton and Wicked. This is a black tie optional celebration. All-inclusive tickets include dinner and the show. Happy anniversary, Kane Center. Some of the upcoming Kane Center performances include Rocky Lynn, Forever Young, Jeff Allen, and even a Stunt Dogs experience. To see the entire lineup and to purchase your tickets, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. This is the last week of the season to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time. Speedway Christmas is happening daily until Sunday. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The Infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The fun ends Sunday. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Starting with sunshine, but you'll notice clouds on the increase as we work our way through our Wednesday. Still a chilly day of weather with highs in the upper 40s and low 50s. And while clouds will be on the increase, will still mainly stay dry. Although a sprinkle or a stray shower, even a flurry, can't be totally ruled out this evening and tonight. Those clouds will start to break apart. A partly cloudy sky overnight as temperatures drop back down to around freezing. Sunshine is back and another chilly day on the way for our Thursday. And that's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Call now 704-873-1400. It's the good, the bad, and the guilty. 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, welcome back here at WSIC. We are live in studio. We're live on Facebook. You can catch us at 100.7 FM, 105.9 FM, all those other platforms that are out there to listen to us as well if you don't have those old radios anymore. Welcome back. We are here in studio with Sheriff Campbell. We've got Jason Lanning with Farm Bureau and the newest recipient of the Deputy of the Month Farm Bureau Award, Jonah Wood.
Two awards in 1 year.
Yes,
I know.
Almost a month.
Yeah.
And that last award, that Bill Wood Award, you said you were going to hang this one right next to that. One of the things the sheriff was talking about, and I'll just elaborate on it. It's all about the leadership potential and the investment that you've made into this agency because we have made that investment in you. You mentioned the supervisors earlier, some of the stuff that your lieutenant had said when talking about it, being nominated by your peers. It's just you reap what you sow, and that's one of the things the sheriff talks about is whenever we can, get that training, get that right person, get that right candidate sponsorship, and put that investment of time and interest and there's money as well investment. Then that's what we get back fourfold from you guys. So.
Well, and I think he sort of said something talking about another agency. We won't call him talking about the pay. Mm-hmm. We have advocated a lot for higher pay. And when I say higher pay, I don't mean, we're obviously not the highest paid. There's state people get paid a lot more than us. But one thing I always want to be able to tell the citizens and look at them in good faith and say, We want to be able to attract the top recruits out of our rookie school. And if we attract the top recruits, then we have lower crime rates. We have better solvability in cases. If your family's a victim of a crime, I want the best officer that I can possibly recruit to go handle that and to build a case, to collect evidence, to make sure we can get a successful prosecution when we go to court. And I think that's one of the biggest things we've been able to accommodate or accomplish, because you look at this investment we made with these officers. You're getting a lot of them here, but we can be very selective, and they can handle issues.
Right.
But it really comes down to a 55% reduction overall crime in 8 years.
Right. And that's having the right people in the right places doing the right kind of job.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Top tier.
And I know someone might think in law enforcement, as long as we've been in, when you think of an FTO, field training officer at a year and some change, you said, well, Iredell County and the opportunities that you have, you're able to do a lot of different things. And I know you talked about some of your different, when you work your time in detention, when you work your time with CID, when you work your time with, SVU, all the different agencies that you work with, even as a school resource officer. You get to see that. And I think the math was done, Sheriff, when you said a 30-year career, you could work 2 years in every division and still not work every single division at the sheriff's office.
That is correct.
So that's where you have that basis. Coming in from another agency with not this type of opportunity, you wouldn't be an FT. You wouldn't have that to be able to teach others. Yeah. So,
well, I think that's why we got a lot of community support, just like Farm Bureau here, or support. They jump in because they said, and it's not just, and this goes to all of our officers. You see, I'm a stickler on appearance. I think professional image. I think you should have respect for your chosen profession. That's the reason me and for us and some other agents, it works better to have the good Class A uniform. I like a shirt and tie and long sleeves during wintertime. I like your gig line to be straight. I like your patches to be pressed. I hear more and clean cars, because those we work for the citizens. You don't work for me. You work for the citizens. But I think that's been I hear more compliments on how professional y'all look. When you get out, press there, you got your hat on, you look good, you look like you know what you're doing. And I'm telling you, for a family, and I'll put even if it was my mom, if she was a victim of crime, you come up to her, the appearance that you project is a lot. It's 90% of the problem. You hate to say it, really, or to make them feel comfortable.
Right. Yeah, this is probably one of the worst times in their life.
And the bad guys see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, when you're dealing with a suspect and they look at you and you're not put together well, they think they can take you apart. But
I'll tell High Patrol, we'll swell their heads while if they're listening right now. When they come up behind you and they pull up and they got their hats on, I even get nervous what I do wrong. Of course, I do. Believe it or not, even when y'all get behind me, I'm still kind of a little nervous.
When I drive down the road, I see them and I'm slamming on the brakes. Am I speeding?
Well, see, I wasn't speeding, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Matt just snitched on himself.
I was just hurry to get to work on time.
I'm just glad you got to work. Okay, getting back.
Yeah.
Jonah,
Yep.
anything? What else you got? What else do we where we don't hear? You're in the trenches. You're where we're at. And listen, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show my age a little bit. You heard Matt talking a little bit about field training officer and going through the school, different divisions, and why. That's about a 4-month process once we hire or get you here. Right there. You know how long mine was? It was a car, and here's a map, and go answer calls. Never did I have a field training officer. And I rode with deputies, but I never had a field training officer.
I think I had about 3 or 4 weeks. I wasn't quite your caliber of officer, and that was in the city of Mooresville, so,
Hey, I can remember the first domestic arrest I made. Now, I arrested a guy, had him in the car on the way to jail. I'm like,
what do I do now?
What do I do? I know he committed a crime, but I don't know exactly how to charge him. But I remember it's down off of 21 South, and the guy, him and his wife, and obviously it's pretty bad assault. We arrested, took him to jail, and I remember calling my lieutenant. Okay, now I've got him. I got him in handcuffs. All that's good. How do I get him charged?
What's the next step?
Well, we used to take a ticket book. Do you even know what a ticket book is?
Yeah, I still have one.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, because now they use printers.
I don't have one.
Well, when I first started, I didn't have a printer in my first car.
So you had to have a
Yeah,
ticket book.
had to have a ticket book.
Well, from BLT, they changed in, you'd write the citation out, and the magistrate just signed it. That converts it into a magistrate's order, and that's how you made the arrest. And you got a release order. That's all we did at that time. So, a lot of people don't have the ticket books. Everything is all computers now, and you print it out. So, I'm impressed. You know how to write a ticket?
Yeah, I know how to write a ticket.
There you go. Jason's like, what?
My FTO, he had a printer in his car, and he said, nope, here's a ticket book.
Write the ticket.
Are you telling me that writing a ticket is a lost art form?
It is kind of.
Yes.
Would you don't really see it a lot. I mean, no, we've got the form field. You can do it on the computer and it'll print out. But the old ticket book, Taryn, and here's your pink copy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we keep the white copy and the yellow copies for the officers.
Interesting.
Yep. There's 3 copies. You got to make sure all of them are lined
So do you
up.
think it's a lost art? It's going away, is it not?
I don't think so, because even as far as I know, the other FTOs are still teaching, because your
That's
computer,
good.
your computer will fail you at some
Exactly.
point.
And that's exactly right, Matt.
Yep.
I
Sign
don't have
them up.
I can't believe you don't have one. What if you need to write a ticket?
Uh,
Call somebody. Call Jonah.
Jonah, where are you at?
I have a warning ticket book. I want to make sure that
I don't
they
even have one of those.
Well, we should get together. Could patrol some.
No. But yeah, Joe, it's a lot different. I mean, we used to have something. When I started, really didn't have cell phones. You had something that was
no.
called probably gonna get in trouble, but our communication would tell you to call in and
1021.
No, but we would say, "Are you clear 3-digit?" Do you know what that means? Clear 3-digit.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
You go to a pay phone and you dial 911 because you didn't have a cord, and they'd hook you up with your call. Do not do that now because 911 is obviously way too busy.
Well, see, I was in the city, so I'd go to convenience stores.
They were
and
scared of
use-
the dark.
Yeah, exactly. I had to stay near the lights. Listen, I had a
All right,
bag
we better
phone.
change the subject. Just change the subject. Let's go
Somebody's
to
gonna get
something
sad.
different.
Yep.
We're going to get in trouble. So, Jonah, listen, y'all stick around. Interject at any time. Or interject at any time. There again, share us on Facebook. Listen to us. Send us some comments. We'll try to answer. Call us in.
Yep.
704-873-1400. Give us a call. And I think one thing we don't get to do a lot, Matt, we talk about different things on and off, but we don't get to talk a lot about just basically in a year some of the accomplishments the sheriff's office has done. So I know you and Bill have compiled a list. Something it's kind of, and this is just a few of the things y'all have, but I'll let you kick it off, whatever you want to talk about.
Well, I mean, again, all those divisions, all those places, all across the county, the things that they need from air, land, and sea.
We did not get a helicopter.
No.
Not yet.
We've got.
Can you insure that?
We have. Yes, exactly. The drones. I mean, if you know somebody, we can try to make a deal on a used one.
My kid will be hitting me up again about the boat.
County
I want
manager.
to see a helicopter now.
Yeah.
Oh, see, and I know the county manager done told me we can't insure no helicopter.
But we'd have a pilot already, right? Because
Got a couple of 'em.
We've got FAA pilots now.
That on volunteer, yeah.
Yep, with the drone pilots because of the capabilities that those drones have, and we've added new drones. So those pilots have been able to get them to fly the helicopter for sure.
Well, there is a lot of retired officers that are actually military and still want to keep up their helicopter hours, and if we had a but we don't. So
No.
okay.
Well, just one more thing. We did get another boat. All right, that was one of the things that was very important to have. I know that you had worked really hard with legislation, some of the appropriations from the committees in the state, and you had worked. I mean, you've got to lay the groundwork to be able to get to the point where you are. It's like seeing the goal line here, and you've got a ways to get to it. So this boat that we received recently
yes.
was one that you had worked on, started way back.
Year and a half.
working on.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this started actually the way when you said another boat. We were actually going to do the appropriation of the General Assembly, which helps us use state money to buy our boat versus using just Iredell County taxpayer dollars.
Right.
We had actually started it with the original boat, and just because the slow as sometimes General Assembly moves, it just didn't happen. But Joe Biden got elected, we had drug dealers' money, and we were told that money is going to be taken from us. We were not going to be able to no longer use that. So we purchased our first boat with drug dealers' money, and later the appropriation come through for the smaller boat, which Vicky Sawyer, Jeff McNeely, Mitchell Setzer, Gray Mills, a lot of other legislators work with us. So we were able to get a second boat, and really the purpose of it was to move the other boat up to Lake Lookout because they do not have a presence in time of emergencies.
Right.
So that was a great
and the lake
accomplishment.
itself is, I mean, it's a large body of water, but to navigate it from one end to the other, you're looking at a 45-minute boat ride from the south, and that's
just to Buffalo Shoals Road.
Yeah, that's true.
Up.
Exactly. Yep. And having the capability to be able to have one at the north end or at the south end, and then, back during the Citizens Academy, which is one of our things here, we had the largest Citizens Academy since we started this year. But at the Citizens Academy, we had the Lake Patrol boats, and the CERT team actually did maneuvers, did operations off of that, and I never knew that could be that was a possibility.
Yes, and basically what it is, summed up, Jason, I can't, well, you wasn't, but what it is, we did a video of it where our SWAT team guys would do a water deployment, and we've had to do that. We've trained it for decades now, and they jump off of our lake patrol boat and they come in from the water doing a waterborne approach. And sometimes we have to because, well, we hadn't had to in years, but we've had to do it in the past because we do have bad calls on the lake also, and the water is a way to make the approach. It looks like we got 30 seconds. I do want to come back, so we'll finish up and then we'll transition a little something. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. Matt, you'll bring us back in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Y'all tune in and call somebody and have them follow us.
And share.
Here you go. Or call us. 704-873-1400.
There's more of the good, the bad, and the guilty with Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Starting with sunshine, but you'll notice clouds on the increase as we work our way through our Wednesday. Still a chilly day of weather with highs in the upper 40s and low 50s. And while clouds will be on the increase, will still mainly stay dry. Although a sprinkle or a stray shower, even a flurry, can't be totally ruled out this evening and tonight. Those clouds will start to break apart. A partly cloudy sky overnight as temperatures drop back down to around freezing. Sunshine is back and another chilly day on the way for our Thursday. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Senator Tom Tillis is harnessing the power of clean energy to create a stronger America. Building a clean energy economy will create high-wage American manufacturing jobs and expand opportunities for hardworking families to thrive and prosper. Investing in clean energy innovation will strengthen our electric grid and make it more resilient against natural disasters and foreign hackers. Senator Tom Tillis understands that clean energy is vital to America's economic and national security. To become energy independent, America needs an all-of-the-above energy strategy. Wind, solar, and homegrown biofuels can help break our dependence on foreign energy, create a booming economy, and protect our environment for generations to come. America can lead the world in clean energy innovation. Call 202-224-3121. Thanks, Senator Tom Tillis, for building America's clean energy economy. Paid for by Americans for a Balanced Budget.
Happening now at Randy Marion Ford in Statesville.
That's right, folks. We have flipped the calendar. 2024 is here. Happy New Year from Randy Marion Ford Lincoln. Come see us this year for all your car needs, whether it's a new Ford, a new Lincoln, quality pre-owned, Randy Marion Ford in Statesville. We have got you covered. I-77 exit 49B. Look for the spinning car, folks, because that is where the deals are.
RandyMarionFord.com. The good, the bad, and the guilty continues now. Here's your host, Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell, 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, welcome back to WSIC. We are here with the good, the bad, and the guilty, and we are all here good. Nobody's bad or guilty. We are happy to have, lucky to have Jason Lanning with Farm Bureau here. Just presented the award to the very deserving Jonah Wood for Deputy of the Month. I'm Captain Matt Burleson, of course, Sheriff Campbell. We're talking about some of the highlights of the last year. During our break, we were talking about the highlights of Jonah's career and kind of where he sees himself going and some of the other things we talked about. But one of the things, Sheriff, you did mention that we wanted to mention the unfortunate incident that I just did a loss for words.
I think it was New Year's Eve. The officer of Greensboro Police Department was 22 years. I think his name was Philip Nix.
Yep, Sergeant.
Off duty. I think from what we're understanding, the teller recognized him, and he tried to intervene after being asked, or,
Mhm.
or maybe not. Well, I think so, but on the larceny of beer of all thing by 3. Call them what they is, thugs,
Right.
or thugs, whatever.
Right.
I'd love to see the record of it, and the press really been quiet about that, but obviously was shot and killed. So we
Mhm.
want to remember his family,
Right.
and the Greensboro Police Department, and every officer out here that
We're all family.
deals with it every
yeah,
day.
yeah.
So
And that's one of the things I worked in my community for many years, and always lived here and always worked here, and Joan, I'm sure you can attest to it as well. These are our people on or off duty.
Yep.
All right, these are we're all family, but then these are our citizens too, right? I mean, so they know you when you go in the convenience store. They know what you do and who you are, and you've got a responsibility even in your off duty, just to behave that way. So it's senseless.
Well, I think we encourage that, through your FTO. You heard us talking about the field training candidate program, but, meet the people, talk to them. You want to treat people like you want your family treated.
Yeah.
And this officer, just me guessing, and I don't know the details of it, but I'm sure he went in there that they probably brought it to his attention,
Mm-hmm.
and he reacted.
Mhm.
What he's trained to do and to help out his community, and that's what happened. And y'all deal with it. It's a dangerous time now, and I don't know. A lot of people says it's more dangerous. I think the 70s probably was for the field of law enforcement. We've had tough and bad years. I think the social media makes it just so more well known.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, everybody asked me, what do I worry about? The biggest things is not so much crime is, but obviously it's every night is worrying about these young officers, or every day worrying about, because we may have 50 to 60 officers working any given time,
Mhm.
as far as patrol through investigations, and that's a big word. Make sure y'all stay safe, and that's the reason we try to provide y'all with a lot of training, and that's another reason I'm glad we were able to recruit a lot of officers.
And speaking of that, our family as well. We have a caller on the line.
They called just for you, Matt.
Outstanding. Go ahead, caller. You're on the Good, the Bad, and the Guilty with Sheriff Campbell.
Good afternoon, lawmen. This is Howard, y'all.
Hello, Howard. How are you?
Good.
Happy New Year to everybody, and I just want to congratulate that you.
You're breaking
Happy
out
New
there.
Year.
Yeah, you're breaking out there a
Coming
little bit. Try that
Can
again.
you hear me again?
There you go. Yeah, talking about the new year. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to wish y'all a Happy New Year. And last year, with the 23 big stop that you did right before the holidays, that was a great save. I know you realize that, but you saved a lot of lives that day by stopping that production.
Hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that was.
And just want to send out my condolences with the officer that was just killed recently, New Year's, because you are right. All of y'all are family. And I'm a truck driver, veteran, 35 years. So every time I hear of one of my fellow truck drivers injured in a wreck, I know how y'all feel. Because I feel for that truck driver just like you feel for that officer. May not work by day or next to each other, but y'all are all family. And we appreciate you.
Well, and we very much appreciate, that's a good thing. You hear me talking about good, great communities. This happened in Greensboro, not an hour from here. And the fact that you taking your time to call in here today and tell us that means a lot. And that's the kind of communities I think we've got here in Iredell and North Carolina in general.
Right.
I mean, this is not what happened. It's also not indicative of everybody else. These were, like I said, now, I'm not even going to refer to them no more, but criminals that decided to take a life. So.
Well, just a real quick story. In my youth years, I was in a lot of trouble with the law. I got a letter sent to me from Raleigh saying if I got one more speeding ticket, they would revoke my driver's license. And then I went and got my CDLs and became a truck driver, and that's what saved me. But it was that officer, state highway patrolman, stopping me that last time I got a speeding ticket, and then getting that letter from Raleigh that straightened me out. So there's sometimes there's some good stories come out of some bad things, and I know you know that in your relations of law enforcement. But I mean, I feel dear to y'all guys because y'all straightened me out. It could have went a totally different direction, but I think you helped me in a long roundabout way. But that's been a lifetime ago. But I still appreciate it.
Hey, we're still here no matter what. We're still here to help anybody it, and. I've had, no, I'm not going to confess too much on here, but back in my younger days. But I'm glad it worked out. And listen, thank you for calling, and we appreciate it and look forward to talking to you every week. And be safe out there, okay?
Take care.
Hey, yes, sir.
We'll be
Thank you.
talking to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thanks, caller. The one thing I was going to go into when we talk about family is, Sheriff, you instituted the family auxiliary, because not only is it Jonah, the officer, but it's Jonah's wife who hears this stuff, and it's the family. People's Facebook changes, their profile on Facebook's changed. The wives of these officers or husbands of these female officers, because it affects them too. It makes it real life, and the family auxiliary has been able to bring some of those folks together.
I think it's cool, and I actually got that idea from, my family got the idea, sort of saying it, Stacy, was, the fire departments, sort of like an auxiliary, but we called it family auxiliary because we want to do things for the kids. We want the kids to be proud of the professions their mom or their dad or their brother and sisters are involved with. So we do Easter eggs, we do Winter Wonderland,
right.
We do the awards banquet where Jonah just got his award, and there was 450 to 500 people there, and we still had another 60 out working. But I think that family relationship attracts a lot of recruits. I've had that. We talked about that before, because I want this. We'll use, for example, wives. We'll use both wives and husbands. I want them to know who their spouse works with. I think it makes a lot. It heads off a lot of problems, and it creates a lot of good relationships and friendships.
Right.
So
building on
been
those.
successful.
Yep. Speaking of friendships, Youth Athletic League, we make a lot of friends with those young individuals. This is something that was started years back. I know you had a vision of it being, this big, and it's to that point. It has gotten to where it was 30 teams, over 300 youth last year that was able to, compete in volleyball, and the competition really spoke to sportsmanship and having coaches that were other officers or family members of some of the deputies, and the SROs. There's a lot of family building there as well.
And Jonah, you even as a new deputy, you know what you know what the athletic league is, because y'all come by on Saturdays when we play. We always encourage the officers to ride by. Yep. Those that have not, and you're right, it's about 300 girls and boys if they'd like to play volleyball around April.
Yep.
So we don't compete with the school sports, and the school has been, I got to say, Jeff James and Iredell State School has been great for providing us places to train.
It takes a lot of gyms for 30 teams.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to have 30 teams, so we sort of had to do that. But the girls don't pay one thing for refs, they don't pay for shirts, they don't pay for balls. The deputies come in and they help coach. We recruit people from outside, Jason.
Right. Yep.
Become coach teams.
Yep.
That's good influence.
Trust me, no experience needed.
No,
a lot of these girls and guys, they know, and they'll steer you in the right direction. They'll let you know if you're not coaching well.
So that's a good point. Anybody that would like to, thinking about it, we're always looking for good coaches. We'll do a background, but there's some great competition. We're watching JV and then varsity teams play. So.
And I was talking some of the officers today. That'll come out soon. We'll have it in the next month or so, or several weeks.
And one thing before we take a break, there's always a tragic crime. Well, what can we do for these children? What can we do? How do we get involved? Well, we've been doing this now for about 7 years. And every Saturday in April for about 6 weeks or 5 weeks, you can come down to State Senior Highs where we've done it last year and watch them be involved, starting at 8 o'clock to about 2 o'clock every.
And their families are there too.
And their families, yeah.
Yep.
A lot of times we don't have enough bleachers to get everybody, so we have to rotate in shifts.
Yep.
So
because there's so many that comes out there. The Youth Athletic League, Cyber SWAT, one of the things that was started this year. Cyber SWAT, I know you had met the sheriff in Virginia that had came up with the idea, had the vision of peer-to-peer relationships for security online, for good online citizenship.
Yeah.
Being able to
suicide prevention, anti-gang, there's all sorts of stuff.
Right. Yep. And we were able to get hooked up with those guys. And I know down in at Lake Norman High School, I believe Mark had gotten one of the awards several months back. Instigated.
A few months back.
Yeah, had the over 100 folks in the cyber SWAT. So that's growing.
I think he got an award also during our appreciation dinner for the hard work he did.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yep. So I mean that's important.
I think one of the classes, when I was reading the award, he had 80-some participants show up. Students.
Right, exactly.
Going to be involved.
And I know one of the things that he had done was a local business had donated a tree in remembrance of a person that had committed suicide or died in an accident. There was some type of tragic event.
Do you remember who that was? I don't have it written down. So
I think it was a young lady who had an accident now that I'm thinking.
No, I mean the business. That donate. If not, we need to give. I mean, that's a lot to take out to donate something like that. So we'd like to give them.
Yep. I don't know why I'm thinking Turtle Creek Nursery. Something down in Mooresville, one of the nurseries down there. So I'll find that out. Yeah.
Well, and another thing we got about a minute left, but one of the other things we did, and I want to throw out to our legislators, is our command bus. We got a mobile command bus this year in the General Assembly appropriation. There again, it offsets, for the Citizens of Iredell is not responsible for that cost. 1% of 100 is 100 counties, and we're one of them. So, but that's going to be something we use for law enforcement here, fire departments, whoever needs it. It's going to be. So if we do have a bad incident, you've got a place to help family.
Like a rolling EOC
like
out there. So,
all right, Matt, we'll be back in about another 2 minutes. This will be our last break. So if you want to follow us, call us in 704-873-1400. We'll be back in about two and a half minutes.
More of The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty with Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Happy New Year, WSIC family! Here is your WSIC community calendar. Celebrate Kane Center for the Arts' first anniversary gala, along with Broadway star Mandy Gonzalez. Dinner and a show this Saturday at Kane Center for the Arts. You may remember Mandy Gonzalez from her roles in Hamilton and Wicked. This is a black tie optional celebration. All-inclusive tickets include dinner and the show. Happy anniversary, Kane Center. Some of the upcoming Kane Center performances include Rocky Lynn, Forever Young, Jeff Allen, and even a Stunt Dogs experience. To see the entire lineup and to purchase your tickets, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. This is the last week of the season to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time. Speedway Christmas is happening daily until Sunday. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The Infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The fun ends Sunday. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Starting with sunshine, but you'll notice clouds on the increase as we work our way through our Wednesday. Still a chilly day of weather with highs in the upper 40s and low 50s. And while clouds will be on the increase, will still mainly stay dry, although a sprinkle or a stray shower, even a flurry, can't be totally ruled out this evening and tonight. Those clouds will start to break apart. A partly cloudy sky overnight as temperatures drop back down to around freezing. Sunshine is back and another chilly day on the way for our Thursday. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Now more of The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty with Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, guys, welcome back. I feel like we're doing a phone-a-thon here. We're trying to get our numbers up. We're trying to get our watchers in. We've got several people that have phoned in or called in during our break. Call in while we're on air. Guys, if you got questions for us, 873-1400. We've got a wonderful insurance salesman here.
Oh, boy.
There we go.
No, we've got a not-so-rookie officer, a year and change, but he's a two-time award-winning officer as well.
You know what we need to create is some rookie questions.
Really?
Yeah, some kind of question, but I can't.
It's been so long ago, I can't remember that.
Well,
no, so rookies call in with.
No.
Oh,
We
okay.
asked him, make sure he understands.
Oh.
But I'm scared that we've already forgot them, so we got to write them down prior to and research them.
When he said ticket book, I'm trying to think how far away was that. But no, guys, we're here with Sheriff Campbell on the Good, the Bad, and the Guilty. We're hoping you got some questions, and like I said, get your family members, tune in, watch us on Facebook Live. We're watching that number go up and up and up. So thank you for sharing and watching us. Yeah, Sheriff, we had a few other things we were going to talk about. I know our caller mentioned that big drug arrest.
Well, and to lead in with Jonah here behind
Yeah.
me, one thing while we was on break, we talked about one day he'd ultimately like to, move up. He wants to get patrol. He's loving chasing that cat right now.
Right.
But maybe ACE team, our aggressive criminal enforcement team, which is and leads sort of works with our narcotics. Correct, wasn't it? That's sort of about where we're at. And don't want to get your lieutenants nothing upset, but so it's a good thing. But
my phone will start ringing here in a minute.
there you go. Yeah, they'll start. Yeah, but that flows right into I think what you're going to talk about on this fentanyl seizure and the roundups.
Right,
and
exactly.
Why we're so aggressive on the drugs.
Yeah, there's so the ICE team is number 2, I think, the second oldest team in the state. Interstate Criminal Enforcement. The drugs, the money, the guns, the bad stuff that's running up and down our roads out there on the interstates. You guys have gotten that training. You've been able to get those folks, the right people in the right places. And wow, 118 pounds of fentanyl. I think when you did the math for the amount of fentanyl that can kill, it was 2.5 times the population of North Carolina.
Was it 26 point something? Yeah, 2.5 times population state.
Yeah, exactly right. That was and that was just in one of those busts by the ICE team. And I know there's been a lot more work that goes on, and we don't know about a lot of the stuff that goes on out there. We release them as we get them, but the multi-drug campaigns, if you will, I mean, the operations where it's worked with the ICE team, with the ACE team in those communities, in those neighborhoods where those drug sales are going on, those dealers, those people that are there coming in and out. That was over 20. I think it was 20 some arrests out of just those 20 suspects.
And that was just in one, and then another with 130 suspects.
130, yep.
And that really don't take into account the irregular arrests ACE team generates, on a weekly, daily basis.
Well, one of the things, Sheriff, too, we always read when we do the press releases, which hopefully we'll have a few minutes to get into those, but the criminal records behind these guys, these are not your first-time offenders. You've always said if somebody's out there, and we send those emails to the same guys that are locking them up or the same guys that can help them get the help they need.
Well, how many times we said drugs have such a nexus to other crimes? If we stop drugs, your crime rates will plummet. Your assaults, your robberies, your other things will plummet. Now, you're still going to have robbery. You're still going to have... But you're talking about a 55% reduction in just what we do. So everybody across this country will tell you that drugs has such a nexus to other crimes.
Right.
And it does cause our community to be unsafe. I mean, it's not just the crimes. It's the addicts. It's the people committing the larcenies and the burglaries to support their habits. So...
Or the children growing up on that street. Yeah.
Or seeing it, or their families. I mean, they'll be impacted that for their whole lives. So my old saying, cut the head off the snake and the rest of it just slowly quits wiggling.
I think I just got a text from Major Fink down there in Mooresville. He had the information that we were talking about. It was the Bright family that was able to be honored by Deputy Calabrese, and it was the Turtle Creek Nursery, and it was a purple myrtle from the Turtle Creek Nursery. So we want to thank those folks for doing that.
You was right first. I just couldn't remember for sure exactly.
Right,
so,
right, yeah.
Hey, we got to give a shout out to some of our comments. Miss Watkins, we see her on there. Carl Mitchell, Pastor, hey, we appreciate. Adam Blackburn, hey, there's one of your lieutenants, I guess, that's wishing. I see Gina and Heather and a lot of others watching you. So just want to give him a good shout out, and we appreciate them commenting. So Matt, do you want to move? You got anything? We got a little bit, but I don't know if you got something you want to hit, or if you've got the want to hit the press releases, or.
Yeah, we can do that. We can get on the press releases. If you look the other day, I got several personal comments about Miss Lisa Ann Evans, and the picture that was on Facebook. She's 56. You have to check it out there, Jason. I know you're looking at me concerned, but another one of those big drug cases. This was the search warrant was done over in the area Amity Hill Road there in Statesville. We've got trafficking amounts of cocaine. We've got controlled substance, intent to sell and deliver. There's 3 arrests here: 56-year-old, 37-year-old, and 27-year-old. Lisa Evans of Amity Hill Road, Shannon Shook, 37, of Country View Road, and Caitlin Woolidge, 27 years old, of Troutman. And these guys, these bonds and stuff like that, we look at those and we think about these charges and we see that they've got massive histories. So that's Lisa Evans, Jason, if you want to look at that picture right there. She's 56 years old. So
Well, you see the intent to sell and deliver and all
Right.
that stuff. You know, the
Right.
thing about doing these press releases and putting them out there is, I promise you, every customer that they had will not
Right.
go back to them here. No
But
time soon.
look at her. She's got no bond for the criminal history. Look at that. At the criminal
didn't even
history.
look at the
Yep. So if you look over on that page in that criminal history, I mean, it is 4 times the length of the other ones.
Well, let's
That's
see.
half the
Go
page.
to, 4 counts possession of cocaine, 8 counts of misdemeanor possession, felony possession, intent to sell and deliver, 2 counts of misdemeanor possession, 2 counts of felony, possession of controlled Schedule 2 controlled substance, misdemeanor obtained property, worthless check, common law forgery, 2 counts of misdemeanor shoplifting, felony, 4 counts of misdemeanor larceny, possession of stolen good, 2 counts of felony forgery, you know what I'm not. I mean, I could go on.
And you skipped several as you went down that list.
Yeah, I just.
Yep.
I mean, and that's who we're dealing with.
Right. Yep. These career criminals, repeat offenders, and able to make sure that those guys get what they deserve. One of the things that the media was released to today, there was a felony obtaining property, a false pretense case. That was Charles Eric Johnson of East Iredell County. There was like a cruise.
A lot of people taking trips, and this was actually a cruise or a.
It's like a scam, I guess you say, where the money was received by a travel agent or a person posing as a travel agent, travel agency, take that money in to purchase the trips, and it was some elderly victims, and the trips were not purchased. The money was converted for personal gain, I guess you'd say, by Mr.
Economic
Johnson.
Crimes Unit.
Yep. There's a lot of stuff that's dived into again with that, or dove into with those economic crimes unit, being able to see where that money goes, looking where that money trail. And I know there was like a forgery type situation where they was able to get financial records. This person denied taking a trip to New York, but actually the $4,000 was actually a fraudulent dispute. He did take the trip to New York. So, you follow those money trails. You have these trained forensic accountants, I guess is what you'd say these guys would be. The ones that are in.
Don't promote them; they won't paid that way.
Yeah. Well, one of them is going to be a school resource officer.
That's true.
the one that did this. Justin Roberts is going to be
He's
one of our
gonna be a
newest
resource.
Yeah, newest school resource officer. So.
Well, you got to think of this lady that was scamming. I sort of read a little bit of the file. You know that she could have been saving for this her whole life, and
$25,000 to go on an Alaska cruise, and there's nothing to show for it now.
I've never been on an Alaska cruise.
Not either.
Have you, Matt?
Shoot, no. I'll take you out my bass boat on Lake Norman for $25 to pay for the gas.
Big spender he is.
Yep. Stay tuned for our Facebook, and you see what else we got going on. That this one right here has not been released yet, but methamphetamine, we're seeing it out there. This is an ACE team case. Deputy Corey Wilson, also a trooper, conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle, Salisbury Highway, Salisbury Road. I believe that's right there at the city limits of Statesville. 23-year-old was found in possession of a pipe for methamphetamine and also a concealed firearm. You find those guns, goes with those drugs. I know your FTO had taught you that. And there's the rule of 2, right? You find one, look for that second one. Exactly right. So, but these guys are out here doing those things, catching these guys. This was a gentleman or a guy, not a gentleman, out of Salisbury, criminal, 36 years old, out of Salisbury. And then he's got that same drug background, also shoplifting, traffic violations, misdemeanor accessory after the fact to possess.
Yeah. We hadn't spoken. We've got the app. You can download the app. Our County Sheriff's Office.
pictures of these
But
people.
one thing we've never really spoke about is you can actually set up an alert. So if you're in these communities, you can actually set up alerts for when they're released or transferred or anything. So
right, if you've got a person in jail and you want to know when that person gets out of jail, the system that the sheriff's office uses will send you a text, an email, and a phone call, and will let you know that the status of that inmate has been changed, and you're able to.
And you
do
know what's
that.
bad is I even use. I set the alert if I know somebody that's a one person walking crime wave, and we have caught them, and I want to see when their bonds are reduced or they get out. I'll set the alert so we can have our investigators be aware of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's being proactive. Yeah,
well, Matt,
that's
I think we've
Yep.
got about another minute and a half.
What do we
2
got,
minutes.
Joe? We're still good. I run through those press releases.
Just a little over a minute.
Oh, right.
Just a little bit. Okay, what else you got on your little list there? I was trying to think of. Let's see here. Something.
We had 9 overdoses. I know that drug diversion position that you changed from the hybrid investigator, I believe you called it.
Yep. Now we're doing death by distribution cases,
Right.
which we can get after the person that sells drugs. And
Right.
going along with that, one thing we got to say again, shout out to Iredell Statesville Schools. We have placed more dogs in our high schools. So now we have one high school left to have a fully functioning canine.
Canine Creek just went into Third Creek Middle School. Yep.
You see the theme here, Creek, and then we've got the one in Mooresville.
We got Laker and we got Raider.
Raider and Laker.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next one we're going to name Joe.
Joe. School of Hard Knocks.
So,
thank you guys for tuning in. Share what you've seen. If you like it, tune in next week.
Yeah, share the show. Watch it tonight. After you eat supper, get ready to go to bed, sit there and watch a show.
Yep.
And congrats.
Yep. Thanks, Jonah.
And thank you, Farm Bureau. We appreciate it.
The new 105.9